Five Nights at Freddy's is getting a movie, which I already knew was happening, but the teaser has come out. They're making a movie of Five Nights at Freddy's, which I don't know if you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's a horror game where you play as a dude who's like doing security or some shit for a Chuck E. Cheese overnight, and you're trying to survive until like day.
Trying to avoid the jump scare.
Yeah. It was super popular. There's like 8 of these games now, I think, and I think I played one of them once. And I was like, yeah, I get as an indie game why this game is like popular, but it wasn't enough for me. But I thought it was really interesting that they're making a movie of it. It's quite the jump for an indie game that definitely has its following in the gaming realm. But
I mean, Vampire Survivors is getting a TV show, so
yeah, that's fucking wild. I don't understand. Like there's got to be just like I said this fucking months ago. The MCU is dwindling. It's not as popular as it was, and I think companies are looking at games now.
Yeah.
And they're like, what game can we get to pick up? Because they already played with it a little bit with, obviously The Witcher's based off the book, but like the popularity of The Witcher recently is because The Witcher 3. And it just seems like they're starting to kind of dip their toes into video game stuff again. And
Sonic
they're trying to
and
snatch
Mario
up.
were successful.
True. Yeah, exactly. So I think everybody's going to start trying to get their fingers in all the pies. So Five Nights at Freddy's is definitely one of them. I think this is being done by Blumhouse as well, which is a studio that does horror movies. So that's kind of cool. And it's kind of crazy.
Universal says it means it's going to be at the theme park or what?
Maybe they might have on their Halloween nights thing. I forgot what it's called.
I know, and I'm only bringing this up because I feel like they could make an attraction this way, but in Universal Studios Japan, they have a Monster Hunter virtual reality experience, and it's just a giant warehouse where you put on a bunch of VR equipment and did Monster Hunter.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could do a Five Nights at Freddy type, because they do a lot of screen stuff anyways at Universal.
I can see at the very least them doing their like little like mazes that they make during Halloween, and you walk through and there's just Five Nights at Freddy's.
They already
people.
do a Walking Dead thing.
Yeah. So I could see them easily doing that. Yeah. But besides that point, which I mean is a good point, that could be a thing. Maybe we'll see some more Five Nights at Freddy's in the future in more ways. But we got an official teaser, so we're gonna watch this. Real quick too, if you guys don't know, we do a thing called Tasty Flicks. It's linked down below where we review movies, anime, mostly anime lately. That's all I got the time for, really. Just talking about movie content here. We typically do it over there. So if you want more stuff like this, go subscribe to Tasty Flicks. Okay, you ready to watch this?
Yep.
All right, this is Five Nights at Freddy's official teaser in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where fantasy and fun come to life. Hit it, guys.
They got that 90s color scheme going.
True.
If you're watching this video, it means you've been selected as Freddy's newest security guard.
Hello?
At least I don't got to do much to try and keep this like accurate to the game.
We're going to have so much fun
True.
together.
All right. What do we think?
I mean, obviously, from someone who doesn't play these games, I am aware there is a lore that happens, in these games or whatever. But just from a visual standpoint, it seems pretty accurate to me.
Yeah.
It also, I don't watch horror movies, but it looks like they got a pretty decent idea on their hands on what they're doing with it too. So it's a pretty short trailer, so who knows what the end result's going to be. But I mean, it feels like an adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's to me. So
yeah, it looks legit. The first thing I'm thinking of though, like with how well lit it is and stuff, is this actually going to be scary,
right?
Or is it just going to be kind of like just more fun horror,
right.
Or are they going to go for gory? I don't know what this is rated. But I would hope they would go for something and not just be like, oh, this is an adaptation, check it out. But as for adaptations, we're in a time now where it seems like more often than not now we're getting better adaptations of games. I don't know if we're quite at the point where like they're like the best thing ever, but they're getting better. And this definitely does look like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, you could have showed me this without telling me what move this is, and I'd be like, oh, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, that's interesting. And the premise is so simple that, like, to nail the accuracy, the thing that people are going to complain about the most, I think is going to be really easy to do, especially, in a game. I'm sure there is deeper lore, and they'll probably explore it in this as, things are happening. But, just the basic concept of being, like, a security guy overnight, trying to survive these animatronics, I think they're going to be able to do that just fine. So, I'm actually, if I'm being honest, interested. I'd like to see a full-on trailer, maybe get some dialogue on what's going on. But it looks legit, and I'd probably see this in theaters, just out of a strong curiosity of how they handle it, but also, like, it looks good. Looks good enough. Looks like it might be fun. So
also just, support seeing movies in a theater.
True. Yeah. I've seen a couple movies lately in the theater, and it's been kind of nice.
Actually, every movie we've seen in theaters this year have all been good. So that's been nice.
Yeah, it feels like Hollywood is starting to back away from the easy money of superhero movies and starting to embrace trying to do something else. They're definitely going to try and find their next superhero cash cow, but the mid budget movie is slowly making a comeback.
I think it kind of has to with the drop in people going to theaters. They have to make money off these things. So
and especially if you spend the shitloads of money it takes to make a Marvel movie, and then if they don't do what you're hoping they used to do,
or Avatar,
you I don't know if they're losing money, but they're not making the money they want. So it's horror movies have always been like really a safe bet for production companies because they're low budget and they make more money back typically.
Well, especially if like it's your first movie too.
It's easy to make a horror movie compared to a sci-fi movie. It's very difficult to make a sci-fi movie on the cheap, unless it's more of a psychological sci-fi idea. But yeah, so it's interesting to see like that mid-range budget movie coming back. Like I watched Evil Dead Rise, and it wasn't the best thing in the world, but it wasn't bad either. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to be able to say the movie's fine, because typically like when I watch like a straight to streaming movie on Netflix, I'm like, this is made for 9-year-olds. Like this pretends like it's an adult movie because there's some blood and they say fuck.
Yeah.
But like the dialogue is written by children for children. It insults my intelligence. And so I definitely embrace, movies come to theater that are just entertaining and fun.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're getting that. And this could very well be that. I'm kind of going on a rant here, but I'm stoked to see that that people are making movies that look interesting, and video game adaptations we're getting. And I said this, I think, years ago, but I was talking about how, like, a lot of people who are producing video game movies don't care about video games. They're, like, old boomers. They're just like, yeah, that sells well, right? Just make sure it looks like it, and then we'll, just sell the brand to them. But it doesn't matter if it's actually accurate or not. It's been years, and it's, people our age are getting into those positions where they can make those decisions, and the accuracy starts, mattering more. You got people from the devs actually getting more hands-on with this stuff, like Neil Druckmann with The Last of Us. And so I think there's a respect slowly coming into video game properties that should have been there a long time ago with their movies. I mean, the Mario movie has got to be such a redemption arc for Nintendo in terms of like, every time I talk about Mario, people are like, dude, the first one's awesome. Yeah, it's fun to watch in like a Tommy Wiseau way, but it's not a good Mario movie.
Oh, no, for sure. But so it is entertaining to watch.
Well, like after that movie and its reception and the mess that it was to make, Nintendo was like, we're not making a Mario movie. Like that, What the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
but they've made it now, and it seems to have. We haven't watched it, but it seems to have been well received.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, so that's cool. So hopefully this gets the same reception, though. Hopefully people watching, they're satisfied with it, especially anyone who's a big lore junkie of Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not that guy, but I'm definitely going to see it. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say? All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think about Five Nights at Freddy's, the official teaser for the movie. Are you excited for a movie based off this franchise? And what are you hoping from it? Does this look accurate to you? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie.